Manjaro is a free and open-source Linux distribution based on the Arch Linux operating system. Manjaro has a focus on user-friendliness and accessibility, and the system itself is designed to work fully straight out of the box with its variety of pre-installed software. It features a rolling release update module and uses Pacman as its package manager. That's what they say. But was it really like that with us? We looked at Manjaro from the Debian-based distro's user point of view. Stay tuned. In the live mode, the default Manjaro XFCE version looks the same as any other Debian-based XFCE distribution that we have had experience with. Within its traditional user interface, Manjaro XFCE offers the bottom panel with whisker menu, where all applications are divided into categories. The default file manager is XFCE's Thonar. In the right-hand corner of the panel, there's a system tray with regular items such as logout options, calendar, volume control, update manager, and so on. Manjaro has its own default desktop theme called Matcha-C, combined with the Papyrus icon set and Matcha-C window style. The installation process was easy. Manjaro comes with the Calamares installer, which is very user-friendly. You just need to enter your location, keyboard settings, choose a device for the operating system installation, edit partitions, choose a device to install the bootloader on, and create a user. Manjaro is a specific distribution in that a user needs to choose which Office suite to install. LibreOffice, which is the default Office suite in many Linux distributions, or FreeOffice, a free version of the SoftMaker's Office suite. After the installer reviewed all of the choices made, the installation could have begun. In our case, it took some 20 minutes for the system to be installed. The first thing a newly installed operating system offered was to install language packages. Manjaro comes with many applications pre-installed, so a user can immediately hit the ground running. For instance, TextMaker is the FreeOffice's equivalent to MS Word. We were able to choose our preferred user interface and then figured out popular MS fonts are pre-installed. Pamac is the default software manager, and here's how it looks. If you don't like the default wallpaper, Manjaro offers quite a few very nice desktop backgrounds. As with many other XFCE distros, Manjaro also comes with the desktop right-click menu that brings in many options, including a direct approach to all available applications. As usual, our main concern is if distribution can easily provide applications for our use case. Our first stop is Pamac, Manjaro's software manager. It says it's a package manager with ALPM, AUR, Flatpak and Snap support. It offers many ways to view available apps. But let's try and install an application. In the photo and video category, it has many apps. In the search box, we type XNView, trying to find XNView MP, a very handy cross-platform photo manager, but no package was found. Okay, there's an alternative, and that is to use XNView MP Photo Manager as an app image. We downloaded it from XNView's website. Then we changed the app image's permissions as we would in any Debian or Ubuntu-based distribution, but double-clicking the file didn't make the app run. We were looking for a solution on the internet and found it. In short, an app image installer needs to be added to the system, and it incorporates app images into your Whisker menu and makes a separate applications folder in your home folder. Still, the XNView MP application didn't start. The next try is Audacity. The app was found in PAMAC and easily installed. Later, it also started flawlessly. The app we also want to try and install is Kdenlive. PAMAC offered a version from the official repositories. It also provides the option to install several optional dependencies for Kdenlive. Let's try and add them all. After the installation was finished, a message popped up saying a restart was required for the changes to take effect. But after the restart, there was no Kdenlive in the Whisker menu. Quite strange. In PAMAC, it's shown as installed, but we were not able to start the app in the Whisker menu. An attempt to reinstall the app was not successful, so we decided to remove Kdenlive. Manjaro is famous for allowing users to have the access to the Arch User Repository, AUR, with the latest versions of all software conceivable. But PAMAC warns about potential risks and problems, so we opted not to enable it. We decided to enable Flatpak support instead, but still we were not able to find Kdenlive's Flatpak version in PAMAC. Okay, let's see what happens after we restart the system. After the restart, PAMAC was showing both repositories and Flatpak versions of Kdenlive, so we decided to go ahead with the FlatHub version installation. Some 6 minutes later, the installation seemed to be finished. PAMAC was still offering the option to install though. Nevertheless, Kdenlive was there in the Whisker menu this time around. Besides, the application started with no issues. Another way of installing software in Manjaro is via Manjaro Discover. There's a link in Firefox's favorites bar. There, we entered the shortcut media editor in the search bar and the result was immediately returned. It took 2 or 3 clicks and the installation began. It was very short, and then we found Shortcuts shortcut in the Whisker menu. But again, the application didn't start. We found the Shortcut app Flatpak version in PAMAC and it was installed flawlessly. The process was quick one more time, and this time around the app started when we clicked it in the Whisker menu. Another important point for our use case was how to install an alternative browser. Although Firefox is generally our go-to solution, we often do install one of the Chromium-based browsers. In Manjaro, we searched for the Brave browser, and it was there in PAMAC. In some other distros, you have to go through a terminal hassle to install it, but in Manjaro it was almost a one-click affair. The installed app was there and ready to go. In many Manjaro reviews that we've seen so far, one of the issues mentioned was updates that tend to break the system sometimes. In our several weeks-long experiences with Manjaro, updates were not an issue at first, except for the fact that FlatHub updates were offered separately, which is something we have not been used to, having in mind our Debian-based systems experience. But our last update was almost 400 megabytes in size. Still, the update process was reasonably fast, and when it was finished, the system required a restart for changes to take effect. And then, after the restart, our Manjaro build was borked. It didn't start with the wallpaper of our choice, for instance, and it didn't recognize the Wi-Fi network. Not only that, the system was very slow, and it reported that the Wi-Fi device was not ready, although it was working flawlessly before the system update. It even refused to start the file manager. So what can we say about Manjaro? Our experience with it was not that good. Your mileage may vary. Maybe we did some things wrong in Manjaro, but in our opinion, Manjaro is not as user-friendly and intuitive as some Debian or Ubuntu-based distros that we have used so far. Can it compare to Linux Mint or Elementary OS, for example, when it comes to reliability and stability? In our opinion, the answer is no. If you like to tinker with your operating system, to look for solutions online, and if you don't mind frequent updates, then Manjaro is highly recommended. But if you need a stable Linux-based operating system for a strict working environment, when you have no time for tinkering and reinstalling the system, then we would rather recommend Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Elementary OS, Pop OS or something like that. Thanks for watching the video. Please do not forget to give your likes, share and subscribe. See you next time.